In this short video, I'm going to be showing you how to achieve the glass card effect in Figma. So as you can see on the screen right now, I've already created a little example just to show you what the final kind of product will look like once I show you how to do it step by step. So let's get rid of this and just delete everything. The first thing you want to do is add a rectangle. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. Pop it in there, and now you want to do is change the width of the rectangle to 640 and the height to 400. This is going to make it look really like a card, right? To round it off on the edges right here, change the curvature to 40%. And from here, what we want to do is obviously change the color because we don't want it to be a solid color. We want it to be a gradient, just like this, in order to achieve that glass effect. Change the colors to white on both sides. For the second one right here, change the opacity to 10%. And the first one, change the opacity to 40%. And this is really going to make it look really nice. Now, if you don't want it to be so linear, you can also go ahead and just kind of change the gradient a little bit, shift this one to the left and then this one here to the right. And this really makes it look kind of unique. As you can see, it already is starting to gain some shape and look like a glass card. Now, the next thing you want to do is kind of make it pop out a little bit because right now it's just a singular transparent see-through kind of a layer. And in order to do that, what we want to do is add some stroke. In my case, I can either go for black color or I can go for white. It really depends on your project, kind of what background and what aesthetic you want to achieve. So I'm going to go for the white to make it pop out a little bit more because my background is, as you can see, black. So as you can see, the stroke looks kind of sharper now, which is not what you want to achieve. You want it to look really smooth. So one of the ways you can do that is to just reduce the opacity to around 40%. And as you can see, it has added that little depth that we're looking for without making it look too sharp. So let me just show you as an example what it would look like if it was 100%. So you can see it's much sharper and it doesn't really look good in the eye. So to make it pop out even more and kind of split up the layers, we can add some effects. And one of the effects that I like to add is background blur. So as you can see, if I go to background blur, it kind of blurs everything behind and it really achieves that glass effect. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And if you want to change the blur, you can, but I like keeping it nice and simple to 4% because at the same time you can see kind of what is behind in the background. Obviously you can change this to 20 if you want, but it looks really blurry and I don't think it looks like a glass in my opinion. So keep it nice and simple, keep it to 4, and let's move on to the next one. So what we want to do next is kind of add some more shadow so it looks nice on the bottom side down here. So in order to do that, we're going to go to effects, and instead of deleting this one, we're going to click the plus sign right here, and that's going to add another one. It's already selected the drop shadow, so what we're going to do is click here and just kind of change it up a little bit. We want the blur to be around 24 on this one and the spread to be -1. And as you can see, if you zoom down here, it looks really nice and crisp without looking too harsh on the eye. Now, the final thing you want to do is obviously add some text to it. So I'm just going to go right here, change this. Oh, it's already on that font. This is probably the best font that you can use for this type of aesthetic. So I'm just going to put YouTube right here, change this to white. Now we want to bring that forward, of course, because we want it to be on top of the card, not behind it. Put this here. Of course, you can also space it out a little bit to make it look more like a card. And yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know about achieving the glass card effect in Figma. If you have any questions, please leave it down in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to help.